been murdered. All the friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And the bird said nevermore.
You're listening to the Call Podcast with Brandon and Josh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of The Call. It is a Baltimore Ravens podcast where we talk anything and everything Baltimore Ravens football. Thank you all for listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Player.fm,
Overcast,
Google Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Well, do we have to talk about that game in
I'd rather
Cleveland?
not. I'd rather not.
Well,
I'd rather not.
Technically, do we have to talk about it for the sheer fact that was it a game? Because that was terrible.
That was terrible.
That was horrible. It really was.
It was horrible.
And unfortunately, we guess we got to talk about it a little bit. Everybody had a bad game. Justin Tucker, of all people, had a really bad game.
The GOAT
The
had a
GOAT.
bit. You're talking about the GOAT had a bad game. Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you know it gets sour grapes when that happens.
You know it's really bad when Justin Tucker comes out and he goes, my bad, I'm sorry. But unfortunately, nothing went right with that game. Absolutely nothing went right. I don't know. What do you think? Are our heads going to roll? Doesn't seem like it.
I think the Ravens fan base wanted heads to roll. I know that for a fact. I mean, you looked on all the socials. It was like when Harbaugh called the press conference on Monday, it was like, somebody getting fired?
So if you guys noticed on social media, Tyus Bowser, he posted a video of him leaving the castle, and he opens up the front door to the castle in Owings Mills, and it says there's all these pieces of paper, and it says fire Greg Roman all over these pieces of paper. John Harbaugh was asked about it. He said, well, you got to take it up with security and figure out how that happened. Was it a fan? Because, like, you've been to the castle, I've been to the castle. To get access that close to the front door, like, there's gates you have to get through. I mean, that's a really dedicated fan if they are able to, like, hop fences and run and throw kind of that stuff.
Right.
Was it someone on the inside?
We've been talking about this offline, kind of, and I couldn't wait to talk about it here on the show. My theory is it's got to be an inside job. And why? Because you've been to the castle. It's high security. No one's walking up to an NFL facility, let alone the castle in Owings Mills, and just doing stuff. Like, me and you can't just walk into the front doors of the castle and go, hello, I'm just here to walk around. Like,
I'm here for a tour.
Like, even, like, getting on the premise for a ticketed training camp.
Right.
It's a whole, like, you got to check in with your car, and there's a gate there. Like, now, I don't know the ins and outs of the Owings Mills property. Who knows if it's gated all the way around where, like, forget cars going there. I don't know if you can get there on foot, like just, go through the woods and bypass all that and get to the front door of the castle.
Right.
I don't know that. So let's, that's why I'm saying my theory is I think it's an inside job because I don't think a random angry fan, would do something like that. And given how crazy the world is now, where how crazy fans are with, like, arguing with people on Twitter, calling people names and, people shouting obscenities at players for not performing fantasy-wise. I mean, I wouldn't be hard-pressed if somebody could just walk up to the castle. So it's an interesting take. I want to know what comes out of it. I think, for the record, nothing is going to come out about it. I think this is going to be swept under the rug and forgotten about. But it's a concern. Now, I didn't know – you're saying it was Bowser that was at the castle. Was it confirmed? Because I couldn't find that out. Was it confirmed?
He's the one that posted it.
Right,
yeah.
but it was at the castle after they got back, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
that's
Yeah,
where it was?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Because in the video, he tags the location.
That's what I wanted. I didn't see that part. So I just saw the video, didn't see the whole tagging and all that. So it's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's been some running jokes about it. Apparently it was Lamar because they were showing his signature in the E's and all that with the signed jersey.
People are like looking that much into it.
They were looking at it because remember it was the jersey exchange with Deshaun Watson. Crazy enough, it was the Ravens who just played Deshaun Watson with the Browns.
Right.
And it was the jersey swap in 19 when the Texans visited Ravens here.
Okay.
And, we blew them out of the water. 2019, it is what it is. And they did jersey swap and Lamar signed it. And they were like, the E's look similar. Like, everybody was making fun of it, but you know what? Look, I think it came to a head with the love-hate relationship with Greg Roman here.
Yeah.
More so hate with Ravens fans. And I hate to use that word. It's Christmas time. It's holiday season. season of joy and giving, but it's no secret the fan base hates the guy.
Yeah.
And let's call it what it is. I've been critical of him. I'm critical of it because I feel like you're watching these off. Look. I watch enough football outside the Ravens and fantasy and all that to know that the Ravens have a lack of creativity. It's no secret. You see it all the time. The paid guys. I mean, we do this for fun, right? I can't wait till we get paid one day, hopefully. But and I'm sure you'd be on board with that.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? But the paid guys on NFL Live are calling it out right in front of our faces, like when the afternoon shows, like this, like Dan Orlovsky called our scheme fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast. He called our passing game fundamentally flawed, and it is. So if the experts and former players and analysts are calling that out, it's no secret that the fan base is they're just echoing what's being portrayed out there and what's being analyzed and broken down, and it's a fact. We're seeing it on the field, and we're like, I sent you a screenshot, or I sent somebody a screenshot. I can't remember if it was you or something. The Browns game and the Steelers game, we're talking about passing and spacing. The spacing for the passing game is atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, let's call it what it is, and this is Lamar and post-Lamar with Huntley in. Like, this isn't just a Tyler Huntley issue or a backup quarterback issue. This is a scheme issue. It could be a lack of talent issue. I don't know. But, I said this is where I have to pound the table. I said there's going to be many table. I hope y'all can hear that because I'm a pit. What was the game plan here? And I would love to sit down with Greg Gurman and interview him and figure this out. Hey, Greg, you watching? Because I want to know why abandon the run when it was working. Look. We get these guys are human. We get these guys, have to get a breather for a while. We have Justice Hill. We have Gus Edwards. We have J.K. Dobbins. But when you're doing something successfully and then just abandon it all around and force your backup quarterback to throw it almost 30 times in a game where you're only down 2 scores, dude, I don't know, man. But I don't know if you're watching the same game I was watching, but I was like, where'd our running backs go? Did they get hurt or something?
Right. Yeah, they just disappeared. So I'll tell you, I had to get into the game late because I was in Ocean City that Saturday, and apparently Ocean City networks, none of them carried the Ravens game on a Saturday. They were showing college football and basketball.
How dare OC?
Yeah, and I was
part
like,
of Maryland.
Yeah, come on. Why is it not on? So I'm paying for a month of Sling right now because I do spend a lot of the time at the beach this time of year, and I can't get the NFL Network on Comcast down there. So I paid for a month of Sling, so I had to wait for that Minnesota game to get done before they switched over to the Ravens game. So the first quarter, I listened to it on the app while this Minnesota game was ending.
And I'm sure that was ridiculous enough.
I was a little weird, so I'm like, this is the day that...
Well, everybody's freaking out because of NFL Network coverage.
Yeah.
They were showing the overtime, which I was more into that than the start of the Ravens game because I'm like, dude, this is the biggest comeback in NFL history. And
yeah.
Dude, it's 33-0. I mean, we'll on the back end talk about the wackiness of the weekend. I mean, my goodness, but that started all, and we're like, I almost didn't care about the Ravens game starting, to be honest with you. I was like, dude, that was wild. I'm like, oh, we're all talking about that game. And, by the way, it was awesome to see the Indy Colts collapse like that, especially Matt Ryan doing it for the second time.
That's right.
For the infamous Super Bowl. So,
Uh-huh.
Funny how he's linked to that. It's not his fault, but funny how he's linked to both of those collapses. He was part of it.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a...
Yeah,
a common thread right there.
There's a common thread with no Ravens offense, I'll tell you that. But get back to the task at hand. The start of the game, you knew it. As soon as they went forward on 4th down, knew the game was over.
Yeah,
you have to take the points. And I said, at a time where you're averaging 13 points a game since the bye week, right? 13, 16, 14, something like that. You're not scoring touchdowns as you used to be. You're getting 1 a game, maybe that, and you're on the road against a divisional opponent. You get the ball down in the red zone. Yeah, it would have been another red zone field goal. I know that's like a bad word around here. Like, oh, you got to punch it in, but
sure.
You got to take the points. And not only that, going for it, but what's Greg? Look, and I understand Pat Ricard made the Pro Bowl. Shout out to him. Look, great player, right?
Yeah.
Not discounting that. I'm discounting the play call, not the personnel that's used, not the player not executing. You have J.K. and you have Gus Edwards running it up down the field, especially that first drive. And you don't decide to give it to him?
Right.
When the game matters? That's almost like, look, it's 4th and 1 with a tied game in the first quarter, but it's almost like not giving it to LeBron or the late Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan for the game winner. It's like, oh, let's give it to somebody we don't think about because they might not be ready for it. Like, come on, Roman. Give the guys that need to get fed the ball, get a yard, get the first down, let's punch it in. Or even give it to Huntley. Huntley was instrumental. Look, Huntley converted a few good fourth down plays and a good move to change against the Broncos on that game-winning drive.
Sure.
Like, look, I'm not saying give it to I almost said Lamar Huntley again. Tyler Huntley. By the way, it was funny that the video that comedian pulls out, he called Huntley the backup Lamar, which was funny. Love that. But it's just I'm just over it. We have
got a couple
some
comments here.
Yeah, I see that on the screen. I was looking at your phone over there. So shout out to everybody joining and commenting. What's up, everybody?
Thank you.
This is awesome. Dave Rivers says, Josh, it's Christmas, bro. Come on, put the effort in. I love it. Hey. This you mean put the effort in like I don't have a Santa? I love it. Hey, this guy right here, he does it all. This is it. This is as Santa as I get. I'm trying to get the beard going. Dave says, can Tucker throw the ball? You know what? Why not, right? I mean, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, he tackled a guy this past week.
And like we were just talking about, and my buddy Mike, shout out to Mike, he joined. Why would you give the ball to fullback and 4th and 1 when your horse is rolling? I didn't read that comment. We literally just rolled with that, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like it's just like he thinks like, oh, we're gonna get cute and outsmart him. Like, oh, they're gonna expect us to hand it to JK. So no, dude, chill, give it to your workhorses, and let's roll. Shout out to Bob. Hey, Bob, thanks for joining.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later. He had an interesting comment about Lamar. We'll definitely get to that later.
Well,
me and you got some things to say about that.
When we talk about the next game, we'll bring that up,
Break
of course.
it on down.
But if 2 weeks ago, the running against the Steelers, I mean, the running game was working so well, and I mean, it was like, oh, like maybe we can get a couple wins without Lamar at QB.
But I feel like they didn't abandon that in the Steelers game.
Right,
That's
but the last this past week, it was just kind of like, oh, the running game's kind of working. Well, let's forget about it. And it just dropped. There was no reason for it.
I'm going to get fired up again, man.
So
I save these stats, man. This is what's glaring to me in the loss. In a game that Greg Roman had to be Greg Roman, right? The Ravens running backs were averaging 8.7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's J.K. and Gus Edwards. But Huntley had 28 passing attempts, what I was alluding to before. Like, really? Your backup?
Right.
Putting it on his arm when he can't even throw it deep? Come on. And Huntley was averaging a 4.8 yards per pass. We had the worst run defense in the NFL they were going against, pretty much one of the worst. Someone's like, make it make sense. Here's another one. Ravens had 0 touchdowns on Saturday, but rushed for nearly 200, 198. That's the most rushing yards by a team that scored no touchdowns since the 2013 Rams.
Right.
Ready for more?
Let's
open up some more presents. Why not?
This is sad.
J.K. and Gus Edwards threw 3/4 of the game, 19 carries, 176 yards on the ground. What did they do in the fourth? What do you think they did in the fourth? What did they do in the fourth, everybody? Dobbins had 0 carries. Ha! Talk about a Christmas surprise. Edwards 1 carry for 4 yards. So he's averaging 4 yards a carry there. Still, again. Here's another glaring stat. Dobbins was averaging 9.6 yards a carry in that game. Insane. Almost getting a first down every run.
Right.
Gus Edwards averaging just under that, 7.9. Pretty good averages for running backs, right? I think so. And again, just between the two of them, they had 1 carry, okay, in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, they averaged 3.8 yards per pass on the dropbacks throughout the game, per pass. And that's what Sarah Ellison on Twitter alluded to. Her quote was saying, my peak of frustration with Greg Roman's play calling was here. And that's what everybody's fed up with. Like, it's like, look, you're down 2 scores, and I love it. Again, I know hindsight's 20/20. I get that, but I love how the coaches backtrack. In the press conferences, they're so adamant on like the game plan, like, oh, we followed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Maybe we should have ran it more. You think? Like, I'm saying, you could tell my frustration now with this loss.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over it. Like, the other the 3 or 4, I forget, we have 5 losses. The other 4 losses with the collapse in the leads, I can get over that. Like, okay, look, They had them. It makes us mad. It's agitated. It's frustrating. But this one takes the cake. They scored 3 points on a weekend in NFL where they scored the least amount of points of all NFL teams. The Houston Texans scored more points than us. The Houston Texans, who have like nobody on offense. And they scored way more points. We scored 3 points. 3.
Yeah. Could be a landing spot for a QB that I know of.
Now, we get
in Houston.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But here's the thing. It could have been more without the missed field goals. I know, hey, Tucker missed 2. He had 1 block, missed 1. The I almost said Bills. The Browns had 2 missed field goals.
Yeah.
But even if you take if you take the Browns misses and then let's say Tucker didn't get his blocked and he makes his, and then we kick the field goal in the red zone instead of going for it, you're talking a 12-13 game in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
The game was 6-3 at halftime. The only score points in the second half were a touchdown by the Browns. And I said it. My buddy Mike was watching it with me. We were together, and I was like, first touchdown's going to win it. This is like the Broncos game. This is the blueprint of the Panthers game. The way it was going, low scoring, first touchdown, whoever gets it is going to win, and that's what happened. The Browns won on a night where you knew that you had to get it because the Bengals played the next day against the Buccaneers, and they came out of nowhere. Bengals were losing 17-3 and came out gangbusters against the Bucs, and it took the division lead. And I was so disgusted, man. I was so disgusted. I said, you know what? I hope we lose a division because I don't even play for playoff tickets at this point. I'm so mad. I was mad, and I stand by that because I'm mad. This is a knee-jerk reaction. I am frustrated. I'm tired of this same old mediocrity with no accountability, and Harbaugh gets up there and says what he does. No, I want accountability. Someone either look, I don't want no one's job, but there comes a time where either a voice needs to change or somebody needs to be held accountable, and it's about accountability. That's all I want. Accountability. You don't have to fire somebody. Just recognize the problem in the room and say, look, we need to fix this, or Harbaugh needs to get on there and say, we need to fix this, or somebody's going to be held accountable. I don't know, but it was funny to me. I think they're worse offensively than they were in 2012, and they fired Cam Cameron. Was it Cam Cameron out of nowhere, and Jim Caldwell took over, right?
It was wasn't it like 3 or 4 straight losses?
It was after. I think it was after that Broncos game.
With Peyton Manning and got
and I came back in town for that after traveling for the holidays, and it was boom, done.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not looking for a spark like that. And look, you don't want anybody to lose their job, but at this point, we're seeing the mediocrity, and something's got to give, man. And I'm sure you're just as frustrated as all of us.
I mean, I felt once the NFL Network switched over to the Ravens game, and I saw a couple plays, and especially seeing the way Tucker was playing as well, and I was like, this is bad. Like, this is the worst I've seen this team ever play. And if you look at like the Dolphins game, or you look at one of the games where the Giants game, where things were turning out really well, and then they lose it in the fourth. That's kind of like the last 2 seasons we've had in just one game, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's like Ravens started out really hot against the Jets, and then as the season progressed, just like one of those games, you hit like the fourth quarter of the season, and they're down and out. So I don't know if the Ravens can dig themselves out of this hole. I mean, there are lots of scenarios that they could get a playoff spot this week, and potentially it could be another one and done, but like seeing what they're doing the last 2 years, I want to change the definition of insanity, because we all know definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different result. Absolutely. The definition of insanity is the Ravens, because it's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, Dave said, I'm okay with someone losing their job. Look, and I get it, right? I'm okay if it's the right person, but at some point, and what's funny to me is we talk about Greg Roman right now and the ineptitude of the offense, but it's like, but what's funny is he was the coordinator in 2019 where Lamar went gangbusters.
Yeah.
And he won MVP. So it's like, what did they do schematically? And he didn't. Look, we understand Hollywood Brown was on the team. I was like, he didn't have receivers. The leading receiver in Lamar's MVP year was Mark Andrews, a tight end. It wasn't even a wide receiver, because everybody's like,
who? Mark Andrews, I just want to say
real
quick.
Yeah, bring him up.
He's disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's been on our show, and then he disappeared.
Nah. Well, you can't take all the blame for that. It's not our fault. But I tell you what, he is pissed.
Yeah.
Because in that press conference, boy, he didn't hold back.
Yeah.
Something's up. But I didn't expect that, because not only that, I think I think he's hurt.
Yeah, I do too, 100%.
Because look what he did last year. He led me to a fantasy championship with Tyler Huntley at his quarterback.
Yeah.
He had like at least 20 fantasy points in 3 straight weeks in the playoffs for me. I had him on my team last year, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get any points out of Mark. Lamar's going. And all of a sudden, it was like he was getting like 120 yards and a couple touchdowns every game. I'm like, go, Mark, go, go, go. And it was like, I don't know. Something's got to give in the passing game, but it's schematically, but spacing, don't even get me started on spacing. Like, and if you want to talk about spacing, go on online, YouTube or somewhere. Watch Dan Orlovsky break down the spacing game. It's crazy, and I have screenshots on it too.
Yeah.
The receivers are all bunched on one side of the field, and they're all within like 10 yards of each other. I'm like, how is that an effective passing game when they're all on the same side? Like, spread it out, and then you're watching like other teams, and they're like, their receivers are catching balls, and then Jacksonville's coming out of nowhere, and then other teams are winning games, and you're like, whoa, like what's going on here? And I'm like, the Ravens can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Something is broken, and it's like everybody. Like Lamar's broken because for the first 3 weeks he was MVP pace, or MVP discussion pace, and then all of a sudden like he falls off the map. Mark Andrews had a great start of the season, like you said, fell off the map. The team had a 3-3 start. We're 7-3. And now seem like they're getting in their way again, like tripping. Now, barring an epic collapse down here with 3 games left, I wouldn't say they're a lock to make the playoffs, but they should be because they have 2 more wins right now than the next best teams in the wild card races, and they're 1 game behind right now with the Bengals. I mean, they still technically control their destiny. I know those weird playoff scenarios are out there right now with they win and the Bengals beat the Patriots and we win, we're in. I get that. Ravens weirdly went out and they're division champs.
Yeah.
They can go 2-1 and be a wild card. Who knows? But they have to go 1-2 or lose all 3 of these games for them to be out. But are they really a playoff team?
No.
Are you? No.
No.
And that's what's crazy. They're 9-5, and we're talking like they're like battling with the Texans for the first pick.
Because
like,
again,
ridiculous.
We've seen this all before. We've seen with Lamar in the postseason. It's one and done. We've got all of that.
Scroll up on the
No,
comments.
it's not an iPad. It's not an iPad.
That's right. I just realized that's a laptop. Forgive me.
Yeah, but we've seen this all before, and we know what we have with this team. We know what to expect with them, and we've seen this all before. This team, once they get into the playoffs, they'll have 1 game, and then it'll all be over. I mean, that big trust year, we were supposed to go all the way and got beat by the Titans. I mean, I don't even care who we're up against right now. Whoever we're up against, might as well consider it a bye because they're going to beat us.
And that's the scary thought because at the end of the day, I still stand behind the fact is I want the team that I root for. I mean, got season tickets, I go to the games, I spend the money. I want them to ultimately get in the playoffs, right?
Sure, yeah.
But I feel like as a fan who pays money, it's like I don't even want a home playoff game at that point because, like I said, like I joked about it, but I was serious. I was like, you're not paying hundreds of dollars to go see this product. Like, I'm still going to go to regular season games, and I get that, and I'm going to root hard and spend my money, especially in the cold weather tomorrow on Christmas Eve. But it's, it's a principle of the matter. Like, this kind of effort, like, they're going to get torched in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who it is. If they play Jacksonville again, they line up against Miami again. If Tennessee somehow squeaks in, if they draw Tennessee somehow weirdly, I can see them getting by. That's like the only matchup if they draw in the first round somehow. If they see the 5th seed and somehow Tennessee finds it themselves to win and Jacksonville doesn't win that division, which I think they will. Jacksonville wins out, they're division champs, and they play the Tennessee last game of the regular season. Jacksonville plays Houston. And Houston plays Tennessee this weekend, which I picked. So we'll see how that all goes. But that's what I'm saying. The only way I see the Ravens winning in the playoffs at least 1 game this year is if they're the 5th seed and then the Titans still remain the 4th seed and everything remains status quo with the seeding.
Yeah.
And they go to Tennessee. I can see easily them beating Tennessee on the road in the playoffs. But that's it.
Yeah.
They're not beating and we get it. They had the lead by 21 against the Dolphins. They had a 20-3 lead against the Bills. But that seems eons ago. Yeah. I'm not comfortable. If they got to go up to Buffalo, if they got to go to Arrowhead, if they got to go down to Miami, if they got to play Jacksonville again, none of the Chargers get in. The Chargers would beat them. Yeah. Chargers are getting healthier. I'm not confident in this bunch to get it done. Whatever happens, if they get in a dance, whatever happens. But right now, I am not confident in Ravens land or any of these personnel to get it done.
Yeah, and I mean, Miami hasn't looked great the last couple of weeks. They started out real hot, and then they've kind of cooled their jets. So we'll see what happens there. But I think David here on the comment. I'll take the mic. I think he's got a good point because the defense really needs to show up. Did the defense do really well in Cleveland? I wasn't really impressed with what I saw from the defense. I hope that they continue to improve. The defense needs to hold up. Defense wins championships. I mean, we said that when Roquan Smith came on.
Dave's like, it's Max on the podcast. Yeah. We're on Barstools. He would have to come up here, but he's around here, but he's here.
Yeah, Max is here. But yeah, so the defense wins championships, and I think we do have a great defense. But like
that's
I said,
what Dave said.
But like I said last week,
because of the defense, and that's the problem. But then now they're even banged up.
Yeah,
Peters and Clay is out, so it's like, really? I mean, yeah, we get the defense. it's
Well,
still
the team might improve with Marcus Peters not on the field. I mean, let's be honest.
Here we go.
Let's be honest. But like I said that last week, I said, once we had that Steelers game, I said, this is a very tough brand of football that they're playing. Can they stay healthy? We've got older players. And what happened? Calais Campbell went down last game. So we got to get through these games to even get to the playoffs. Can the defense withhold all of that? I don't know, because, I mean, this is very tough for them to do, and they haven't played 100%, I don't think, any game. Patrick Queen, he got banged up a couple weeks ago. Calais Campbell got banged up this past game. Marlon Humphrey hasn't looked great. I mean, I'm expecting way more out of Marlon Humphrey, but the defense does have its stars. But can it get through the next 3 weeks to even get to the playoffs?
And that's a tall order. And that's the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about the health of the team right now. It's usually the healthiest team gets there.
Yeah.
And they sustain it. I don't know, man. But at this point, dude, the jury's still out on all that. I have no confidence in this bunch whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the Falcons game. It's coming up. It's tomorrow, Christmas Eve. We're recording on Christmas Eve this afternoon. If you want to check it, I haven't seen an injury report for today yet.
I'll check it.
But we should definitely check that out. But again, no Lamar Jackson. He has been ruled out. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. When they announced this injury, they said 1 to 3 weeks. I go back on an old podcast and listen. I said, I don't know if we'll ever see him in a Ravens jersey again. And I'm kind of sticking to that. I don't know if he's going to come back in this regular season. I really don't. He's banged up. He's asked to do a lot on this offense. So we'll see. But it looks like Tyler Huntley is going to be QB1 again. He even was banged up a little bit. I think he missed practice on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I think it was Tuesday since it's a Saturday game. But I think he missed out on Tuesday. But he was throwing. He was kind of having like a shoulder issue. He was throwing yesterday on Wednesday, or the Thursday, I should say. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have Tyler Huntley, no Lamar Jackson.
What about Dave's comment? A boy of Jabo. What kind of debut was that? I didn't even see him at all.
I mean, did they even say his name? Was there any sort of impact?
I didn't see a debut.
No, I didn't see an. Yeah, he was there. That's all I know. He was there.
Bob commented, who doesn't play against the Steelers? He said, we all know he doesn't play against the Steelers. You're talking about Ajabo? I wasn't sure what he meant there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let us know, Bob.
But here's the injury reports. Ravens roll out already. Jackson, Campbell, and Peters. Huntley is a go. He's listed officially as questionable. Should be good to go. That is the only Ravens right now that are scheduled to be out.
Lamar. He's talking about Lamar not playing against the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jabo, the man, the myth, the ghost right now. But look, it's going to be a slow ramp up. Let's hold off reservations until we can see him play like a full game.
Yeah.
He's in there. It's a slow rollout, right? Coming back off the injury. It's kind of like, do we really need him? Like, I would like to see him out in the field, but it's like, it isn't like pass rushing a problem. The Ravens are still, if I believe, they're still in top 10 in pressing the quarterback, getting sacks and hurries and all that. So, they boast a good pressure game there. Ojabo certainly helps, but we'll see what happens, man. And it certainly helps the defense when you get those guys back and ready and healthy. But being down Calais and Peters is going to be a tough sledding for that. Yeah, full game waiting for a snap. We got it, Dave. Absolutely. Yeah, it seemed like it was. I was kind of waiting. I was like looking for his number out there, and I'm like hardly saw him. So I don't know what the plan was there. I mean, he was active but wasn't used. See what happens this week.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. That's what it is in Baltimore right now. Everybody's got to bundle up, so it is going to be a tough December game. The Ravens are still favored, though. In my Pick'em league, the Ravens are still favored 95% to win this game. I do think this is a winnable game. I think, again, it'll be low scoring. But, Atlanta coming to town, you're not really hearing much about Atlanta. They're not really making any kind of impact. So I'd like to see the Ravens come away with a win. I think they can come away with a win, but it's going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty. But it's Christmas Eve in Baltimore in front of the hometown crowd. I think the crowd's going to be a huge factor.
Oh, maybe. You say that sarcastically, I hope.
There are a lot of empty seats available on this game.
And they're like $9.
Yeah.
Mine are available still, and I'm giving them up as a Christmas gift if anybody wants them. If you're joining live or I'm throwing it out there. Like, mine are still available. I'm still going to the game, but I got a seat upgrade from one of my buddies, so I'm sitting lower level for this one. My seats in 517 are available. So if you're out there and you're listening and you'd like to go tomorrow as a Christmas gift, my pair is up for grabs.
Wow, that's nice. What a chance right there. Getting the Baltimore Batman seats.
You get to see where I get to see every time. So why not? Hey,
he's digging Santa's beard.
Just see what happens when you don't pay attention. I hope he's okay.
I think the Ravens. I think the Ravens can come away with a win. I think it'll be probably 13-10 Ravens. I think it'll be low scoring again. Got a lot to prove. Got to prove that they are a playoff team.
Hey, go on, Brandon. Say 30 points.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Let's
I love it.
Let's see how much they're going to run the ball. That's where the offense is right now. I think that the.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. I know our listener Dave here. Yeah, man. You know, you cross the pond. We appreciate your support all the way over there, man.
Well, you don't want to fly over and sit in Josh's seats? Come on, there's got to be a.
I don't know how cold it is over there, but I'm sure it's warmer where he's at. It might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, 17 degrees, I believe, tomorrow, so it's going to be quite chilly. Quite chilly.
I'm actually trying to look it up. I'm trying to look up the quarterback's name for the Falcons now. The
Lamar Jackson?
No.
Was that next season?
No, here we go.
Oh, excuse me.
Riddler. That's it, Desmond Riddler.
Oh, the Riddler. Yeah. Does our old guy, the Joker, is he on that team as well?
Yeah, no, we got a lot of Jokers. Well, the Joker, Deshaun Elliott's not on the team no more.
Yeah, well, you're the Baltimore Batman, and you're up against the Riddler on Saturday. Go on. That writes itself.
That does. Hey, speaking of, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. I can go right on here on the old tube here, pull up Xfinity. When he pull up holiday movies, Batman Returns is right after a couple movies after The Nightmare Before Christmas. So because it is set in the Christmas time with the tree outside. And Die Hard's also.
You think Die Hard's a Christmas movie? What about Die Hard 2?
No.
I think it's. It happens again on Christmas Eve. This guy keeps getting in trouble on Christmas Eve.
I guess so. Yeah. Bring on the Christmas festivities. John McClane style. Yeah, no. Look, speaking of the Falcons game, you're right. It should be easy. It should be a cakewalk.
Should be.
But there's a big but. But it's the Ravens. It's the inability to get creative on offense. It's an ability to stick to what works with the run game.
Yeah.
It's the ability to do a lot of things. And what my fear is, and I want to touch on this. Do you think this team is probably equipped or better equipped to play ahead, or play with the lead than play from behind? 100%. Look at the Steelers game. They got out, hit them in the mouth, 10-0 lead.
Yeah.
They held the lead wire to wire. They didn't get the lead in the Browns game. Got out to a 3-0 deficit and didn't even lead in the game.
Yeah.
They were losing 6-3 half. The final score is 13-3. This team, and it kind of mirrored that. The questions were there in 2019 when the Ravens were just pounding people in submission and Lamar was benching in the fourth quarter. It was like, can we trust this team to come from behind in the playoffs if they were to get down? Can we trust Lamar to throw the football when it matters? And it showed it couldn't. Remember in the playoff game, they got down against the Chargers again. It's all she wrote. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. If somehow the Falcons come out and surprise the Ravens and they're up 7 or 3-0, bro, it's going to be a long Christmas Eve for the Baltimore Ravens fans and the Baltimore Ravens in general because I don't trust this team to come out from behind. Look, 3-0 is 3-0, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, it's like 3-0 feels like it's a 10-0 lead because it's like, oh my gosh, then you're all scared and then we got to sit there. It was just like the Broncos game. You're sitting there and it's 90-3 and you're like, we're going to lose to these sorry bums. Blah, blah. I'm like, really? And they finally put it together, but it's just like, they don't have the personnel right now to pound teams in submission. We understand that. But just control the game. It's in your house for the next 2 games. This is the one-off. The next 2 are against divisional opponents. It's the prequel to this home season finale for the Ravens. They play Pittsburgh on New Year's Day. It's the last game of this year. At least let's take it to them.
At home.
Let's take it to them on Christmas Eve. Let's take them to the cleaners and send them home. Let's send these dirty birds home packing. I love it. I would love it. Everybody would love it. But how confident are we? I don't know. Got to stick to the script. They're running the football. It's going to be cold and windy. Huntley doesn't have the ability to throw down the field. You got to stick to getting these guys healthy. And look, J.K. has 100 yards in the last 2 games, at least. He's averaging at least probably well over 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Give him the ball. He's healthy. Let Edwards spell him to give him some time off. Let Justice still run it where he needs to. Let Tyler Huntley run it when he needs to. And let's get the running game going. You set up the running game. The further sets up the pass, right?
Right.
And let's go. But they did a lot of things in the Browns game where they didn't do in the Steelers game. Turning the ball over. Not getting points. Like, it's just kind of like the Steelers game was more complete.
Mm-hmm.
This game was kind of like the same blueprint, running, coming out of football. But it's just like they get in their own way. And don't get, and I forgot this, Harbaugh ain't safe either. Don't get me started. What was this 2-minute drill with 3 timeouts in your pocket? You had like the ball with like over a minute and a half, and they're rushing off the field like hurry up offense. And I'm like, yo,
yeah.
Did you forget the old timeout thingies that you got? Like, so again, we could throw time management in there. It's always been an issue with Harbaugh. No one's safe, and I don't know if it definitely starts at the top, and it's a coaching issue. It's a time management issue. It's a play calling issue.
The time management was so good against the Steelers, though.
That's the problem.
It was
up
so
and down.
good.
Yeah, so good, and then it's like they forget what works.
Yeah.
It's like week to week. That's why I said you can't trust this team. And that's where the frustration bleeds in. You can't trust this team. And now just take one game at a time. Like, I don't care if they play who they play next. Right now they play the Atlanta Falcons, and they better have a good game plan for these guys because the Atlanta Falcons, the only thing they got going for them is the running game with Algier and Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
Watch out because they run the ball better than we do, and they get out coached by Art Smith. If Art Smith out coached Harbaugh,
yeah,
we're gonna have a lot of Grinches on Christmas Eve. And
I don't want that.
Look, and
I
I'm
don't
not
want
one
no
to let
cold.
it affect me. I'll say this right now: look, it's Christmas weekend, families in town. It's holiday week. I'm off for this. I'm off till the end of the year for work. I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm gonna say some people are better, worse than this than others. Some people are better than others. But it's like, look, don't send all these fans home to be Scrooges and Grinches on Christmas because then the family's got to deal with it. Sat in the cold and watch this team. It's going to happen. So let's just hope it doesn't happen.
That New Year's Eve game where we lost against the Bengals at the last minute,
I had
man.
to bring it up. We were talking about that today with my friends.
That ruined New Year's. Like it was like Happy New Year, whatever, midnight. I was so angry. I was
How's
so
Atlanta
mad.
scoring on us, Dave? Stick to the Ravens. Look,
We need
I would love to know, Dave. They can score. I mean, look at their games. They can score points even with the personnel they got. They got worse personnel than we got. I'm just saying I don't trust this team. If Atlanta somehow gets out to a 10-0 lead, look, they can get a pick six. They can get a fumble. The Ravens can really. Yeah, I love it. Dave said, I feel like watching the Santa and Grinch. Yeah, you're all like just listening to me rant, and I'm all like, but I'm frustrated and visibly so. And look, we cover this team and we do it, with the good of our hearts and the fun about it. But you got to call them out when you got to call them out. And I'm not happy. Dude, that Browns game, the Browns had no business winning the game. They're horrible. Yeah. And you lose by 10 and only score 3 points. Like I said, going back to that game, the Ravens only scored 3 points in that game. They were the lowest score all weekend. Line up the Texans. I like to see if they can go head-to-head with the Texans this year and see who wins because they might beat us too. Until proves otherwise, this team's so wishy-washy. Look, they were trading wins and losses all the way through the 3-3 record. Then they found their stride with the 4 straight wins. You're like, oh, right, they're one of the top teams in the AFC now. Now they're a joke. Yeah. And injuries don't make that easier. But to me, dude, I was so disappointed and disgusted watching that game Saturday. I was like, and on a Saturday showdown where they were showcased, and you had the awesome comeback win with the Vikings, and then you had an awesome game with Miami and Buffalo that night. Yeah. Then you had a Dudville right in the sandwich right between. It was like, I was bored. And I don't want to be bored tomorrow. No. I don't want to be bored watching us play the Falcons. I'm like, oh, here we go. Can't run the football, but can't score points. Can't take the point. No, they better win by more. And I think the spread was 7. And I'm like, what in the world is it? 7 points? Yeah. I don't know. You said what? 13-10.
That is 13-10. Yeah.
Do I have to give a prediction? 13-10.
10-7 you?
No, 13-7 Ravens.
13-7 Ravens. Okay. All
It's gonna
right.
be that weird low scoring weird score.
Well, it's going to
But
be
Dave's
going to
right.
be
We
defenses.
beat ourselves, and that's the prize. That's why I'm frustrated. Ravens do beat themselves.
Yeah.
Because they do it all the time. Like, look at the 4 losses preceding the Browns game.
Yeah.
Had the lead. What'd they do? What'd they do to the Giants game? Turn the ball over twice in 6 minutes. What happened? 14 points off turnovers. They win 24-20. Oh, like, brilliant. Like, you run football and take care of the football, you win the game. Like,
Right.
this wouldn't matter. Like,
It's not 30. It's not going to be 30.
he wants you to get that 30 points.
It's not going to happen.
I think it's because I said like 30-10, and then they came out and like barely. I think it was the Broncos game.
Yeah.
I was like, 30-10 Ravens. It was like 10-9. I was like, yeah, like, but they're right. They've been averaging. They haven't scored over 20 points since the.
They haven't had a touchdown in what, 10 quarters? What is it, something like that?
That brings up another point. Okay.
Uh-oh. Buckle in.
Yeah, buckle in. Table pound. They haven't scored a touchdown by wide receiver since week 3.
That's wild.
And
Week
it's a
3.
fact. And it's a fact.
And
Look
there's
it
only
up.
3 weeks left.
Yeah. That means quarterbacks, tight ends, and running backs have only been scoring here.
Yeah.
And Justin Tucker. And I can't remember if we even have a defensive touchdown this year. I don't even think we do.
Did Roquan get one? Did Roquan? Somebody
No,
on
not
defense.
a defensive touchdown. I would have remembered that.
Okay. All right. I thought somebody did.
He had a sack and a pick.
Maybe
in
that's
the Steelers
yes, a
game.
pick. That's what I'm thinking of.
He had a pick.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Correct. Sorry.
He's
Yeah.
going down 27 points.
What are we buttering now? I think what are we on DraftKings?
22.5, Dave. Take it or leave it. Look, 22.5. How are they going to get half point? I don't know. They do in Vegas somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But look, disgusted as we are, it's a winnable game. I think they can certainly do it. They just got to put all the weirdness behind them, I
Yeah.
should say. Wouldn't you say? You got to put the weirdness behind it.
I mean, they just got to get through. That's what it is. Just get by. You know, nobody has to be a hero. Nobody has to put the game. No one should have to put the game on their back. They just need to get through these 3 weeks. They need to get through these 3 weeks to get to the playoffs. Just win by any means necessary. That's what their line of thinking needs to be.
So Santa Claus,
Ho ho
ask
ho.
you, ask you right here and now on Christmas weekend.
Yeah.
Ravens playoff team.
Are they one or who are they up against? What are you asking?
Are they?
Are they a playoff
Are
team?
they a playoff team? When all's said and done, are they a playoff team
They will
this year?
They will
they make the playoffs.
They will make the
after
playoffs.
these 3 games.
They will make the
Okay,
playoffs.
you heard it. Santa promised a
Yeah.
playoffs berth for the Ravens.
Yeah. They will make the playoffs.
Is it under the tree?
Will they have one win in the
I don't see
playoffs?
one.
That's what I think. Yeah.
I don't see one.
No, I'm sorry. They won't have any wins. They'll have one game. They'll have one game that they play in the playoffs, and they will lose. But
Man, it's rough.
yeah, I don't think we see
Our
Lamar.
judgment to see who the opponent is and where they fall in the seeding. But like I said, they draw the Titans. I'll stand by that.
I don't think we see Lamar until the playoffs. I don't think we see him in the regular season again at all. And that might be the last time you ever see Lamar in a Ravens jersey. I've been saying it. It's either him or Harbaugh that's gone at the end of this year.
What Bob was alluding to earlier with Lamar's comment.
Yeah.
The Lamar comment. Yeah.
I mean, you sent me a video of a conversation, and who was it? Was it who was the clip of? It was what's the guy? Not crap. What's the commentator's name? He's always crying on the videos. What's his name? Steven
Stavros.
Stavros.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Look, Lamar's got to let him go. Lamar is the one. They're putting the game and the team on his back, and Lamar's got to move on from the Ravens because they're expecting too much out of him. And it's the RG3 effect. You know, he got drafted by Washington. He got hurt against the Ravens. He was never the same because he, on his own, put the team on his back. Lamar, I feel, is doing a lot of the same stuff.
Well, something's up because, like I said, it was like you come home, you travel to New England after scoring 5 total touchdowns. You come home and play the Bills, and it's like you forgot to play football.
Yeah.
Like it was like it's like someone left our quarterback in New England, and they brought up another guy. It's like did Bill Belichick steal him or something? Like
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
Like, and he hasn't been right since.
Yeah.
Like, is it a mental thing with the contract and the pressure? Has to be because he's betting on himself and putting too much pressure, and he looks like he's trying to do everything instead. Like if you watch highlights in
Do what you're
2019,
good at.
Well, watch highlights in 2019, how fluid he was, and
Yeah.
how like everything was carefree.
He was having fun.
Yeah, you hit it right there, having fun.
Yeah.
It don't look like he's having fun. It's written on his face,
Yeah.
body language.
Yeah.
He's frustrated all the time, and then now we're all frustrated with the Ravens' position they're in, and now he's hurt, and who knows what might happen in the next 2 weeks. We hope to see him back out there, but I don't know.
I don't think he's out for the regular season.
I called it. He's not playing another game this year because the injury, just like how it was with Bateman.
Yeah.
It was going to be a couple weeks or to a month, and ended up being a Liz Frank and being out for the year.
And now we're also losing Devin Duvernay. He's out for the rest of the year.
And that's another thing. Oh, and that's another thing we had to bring up. They invited back Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins back. Yep.
It just rains and pours, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great NFL wide receiver quarter we have here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So should we wrap up the show?
I think we hit a point to where I think we've exhausted all of our frustrations and options.
Mm-hmm.
We got everything out on the table.
Yeah.
It's Christmas weekend.
Yeah.
So leaves me to ask you, where are you enjoying the games this weekend and Ravens game on Christmas Eve?
I don't know where I'll be watching the game yet. It's since it is a 1 o'clock. There's a lot of Christmas Eve stuff that has to be done right afterwards, like dinner and prepping dinner. So I'll probably be at my girlfriend's place watching the game there, and then getting ready for church. So
Veronica's place. I like that restaurant.
Love
it.
But since I am Santa, I did bring some stuff here.
What do you got?
Santa brought some presents.
Are we doing this live?
Straight from the North Pole. We got to do it live.
Well, yours are over here.
All right,
Should I get yours?
Well, no. Let's since yours is sitting right here. Let's get you. I'm gonna get you this. All right, hold on. I got you a lump of coal, right there.
Oh, dude, I love that bag. Certified organic, produced in the North. Dude, that's the best. That's the best gift bag I've ever seen.
Lump of coal for Josh. Because he's always
get
misbehaving.
This Greg Roman. What's in there? Oh, it's a new play call sheet. Yes. Oh, a new coordinator too. Look at that.
What?
Oh, we got. A guy can wish, right? What we got here? You want me to do it live on air?
Do it. Yeah, we're here. Why not?
We're here. Why not? I see pop figures looking at me. Oh, it's pop wrapping paper. Let me open up the one that's not. Oh, buddy.
Look at that.
Oh, it goes well with my. I'm gonna have to wear these tomorrow. It goes with my military.
That's right.
It's the gloves and hat set for the military look for the. Oh man.
I know you love the military gear, and I saw
Yes,
that,
and I got
was
my
like,
new military gear this year. I'm gonna have to wear this hat tomorrow.
yeah, I was
And
like,
it's
that's
nice
gonna be
and
perfect.
Oh yeah. This is definitely being worn tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, I got me my gloves. Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens, of course.
This is great. Put it over there. And we got. Is there any more coal in there?
No more coal.
No more coal. Friends wrapping paper. I love this dude.
Funko Pop, Friends wrapping paper, Christmas wrapping paper.
Funko Pop's Christmas wrapping paper for friends. Because we're best friends. I'm not singing the theme song, by the way. But my favorite quote: "What's Chandler Bing's job?" Oh, he's a transponder.
Transponder.
That's not even a word.
This was not from the Holiday Armadillo.
That's so great. Tis the season with a football on it.
Football season.
Yes,
There
I
you go.
love that. That's going in the man cave or my office, I should say. Bro, this is great.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry
I
Christmas.
gotta
Merry
get-
Christmas,
I gotta-
David, as
I
well.
gotta get yours.
Yeah.
While we're live on air, if you bear with me, yours is under the tree behind me.
Oh, under the tree. Santa delivered it to under the tree.
Yeah, see, he's here.
I also got something for Maximus here.
Oh,
Maximus gets a gift.
Maximus gets a gift. And look, it's got Snoopy and the dog. I love this guy.
So we're gonna have to.
I have to give this to him off the air because he's gonna go crazy.
You'll go
But-
nuts.
But I'm gonna show the world he's got his own very Raven Santa pack with a Raven's bone and a little Raven Santa Claus little
There you
rope
go.
toy. Look at that, Santa paws. We thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
And
Christmas,
I gotta-
Max.
I gotta get yours. I'll get him his toy. That's gonna be, dude. That's great. Look at that, Santa Claus pet toy. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, let me hold the
Let me
mic.
get yours.
Yeah, you'll get something. Look, he knows he's got something.
He's smart.
You jump up here. He's like, oh, I'll open that. I'll take that bag.
So if we're
I'll take
giving-
that.
if we're giving the doggy presents out, why not? But I'm gonna give yours.
Oh, you got something for Finn?
Yes, I did.
All right, Finn gets something. That's my boy.
I mean, you give Max something. But first, this is yours. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Dave's like my first play sheet. Yeah, the Fisher Price, my very first play sheet. That would be epic. Now this has something to it.
Ooh, look at this.
Wonder what this is.
Oh, I know this. I know this writing right here.
We know what this is.
We got Jimmy's famous seafood.
And not only that, but I put a little bit extra in there because I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all you do. You've been awesome doing this for 10 years. He does all the heavy lifting, does all the editing, and has all the equipment. So from bottom of my heart to yours, that's not only Christmas, but a big thank you from me to you, man.
Thank you very much, brother. This is
Treat
amazing.
yourself out to a good, heartfelt meal, man. You
I
deserve
love it. Yeah, this is good. This is date night for Veronica and I appreciate it.
Well, I was like sitting there. I was sitting there at dinner thinking. I was like going through what to get you, and I was like, I had a couple things in mind, and I was going to get you a little things. And I was like, you know what? Nah. I changed gears, and when I was sitting eating dinner there the other day, I changed gears, and I wanted to bless you with a nice Jimmy's gift card.
Thank you very much. This is perfect. You know, we started the season with Jimmy's at Jimmy's. We got Christmas gift from Jimmy's. I love it. This is
I'm
awesome.
going to be at the tailgate tomorrow. It's going to be great. And then here is the...
David says, I'm not sure there is a Maximus.
That's great. Yeah, dude, I love this guy. Dave, you're one of a kind. I love you, dude.
Oh, look at this. Finn's getting spoiled.
Oh, what's this?
Finn's got a big bite. He's got what are these? 1, 2,
of 'em.
5 big bites. Wow.
Max has the little bites over there because he's a little dog.
Yeah.
Finn's a big dog.
Finn's a big boy.
And they're peanut butter naturally made, U.S. So
Love
no
it.
chicken, as you said.
Yeah,
He's allergic to chicken.
allergic
so
to chicken.
I did my research and was like, because I keep striking out with toys. Everything I give Finn, he like tears apart. And I'm like, I got him toys like the one year, and it's like, oh, it lasted 5 minutes. I was like, what am I going to get Finn? I don't want to give him just like a gift card to like Petco to get what he wants. So I was like, what kind of food does he like? And he's like, nothing, anything can't have chicken. And I was like, well, Max loves his peanut butter bones, and
Yeah.
I figured share the wealth and get him some big bite bones.
Finn loves some peanut butter. I'm sure I'll send you a picture of him eating those because he will eat them. But yeah, you're so funny because you're just like a couple weeks or so later. It was like, so did Finn like his toy? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone. You're like, it's gone. Like, yeah,
Well,
tore that up.
There's Santa will probably be tore up way longer than that green tug toy.
Yeah.
The green Ravens tug toy will last a little bit, but it all toys come to an end here in the household. But
Yeah.
some worse, some last better than others. I found some toys. I still have toys that I got him since I adopted him.
Oh, wow.
Years ago. And then there's toys that like I buy them in like 3 minutes, it's destroyed. But it's all the fun.
Yeah.
Dogs spoil my dogs. I got them a whole plethora of gifts that'll probably last from a month to 5 minutes. So it's all about the pups. It's all about the Christmas joy. And, man, I love spreading the Christmas cheer. And, like I said, I love to get you all gifts for all supporting the call after all these months and years. And but wish I could from the bottom of my heart. I just want to say heartfelt thank you to all. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy New Year. And the last gift I should say is, less than 24 hours to go for this game. My tickets are up for grabs. I know Dave said he would trek across the pond real quick if he could. But, hey, Dave, when you can come back, man, I'll treat you to a regular season game. And I know you made for the preseason, but next time, plan it out. We'll come do a regular season game, and me and Brandon got the Jimmy Seafood for some dinner.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Josh, have we covered everything for this episode of The Call?
Man, this was awesome.
This is a good one.
The big Christmas episode. How about take it to the Falcons and quote the Raven, never mo.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to continue the conversation with Josh or I, you can. Make sure you go over to our Discord, discord.gg/thecall
GG, I love it.
podcast. GG. Check us out over on Discord. Join our game day chat over there as well. Now, we do this show for free. You listen, stream, and download for free on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Player.fm, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. All we ask in return is for you to please spread the word about the show. Write us an Apple Podcast review, rate us over on Spotify, and then let people know on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Pinterest and Instagram and Reddit and Snapchat and Twitch and TikTok and Discord and Hive and anything. Coach Dan on the podcast, Caps podcast, said there's something out there called Mastodon. I
didn't know they were in Transformers.
I didn't even know that was a thing. But, okay, follow us anywhere you want.
The Mastodon.
All right, guys, that
Love
is it for the show this week. Like Josh said, everybody out there have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy
I'm not tugging
Hanukkah.
on his beard to see if it's real. Don't ask.
This one's real. This one's real.
I'm not tugging on it either. Mine's real too.
But we will talk to you guys next week before the new year. But everybody have a very safe and happy holiday. Whatever you celebrate out there, hope it's a good one. Hope you enjoy it. But, Josh, take us out the way you always do.
You got it. You got it, Santa Claus, Santa Paws, and co-ho-ho-host, however we want to call you. And there's a Maximus.
See, he's there.
Hey, he wants to take us out like we always do. With the aggression. Let's get the aggression out on the Atlanta Falcons. How about that? Because I'm telling you what, as pissed off as everybody is in Ravens land and Mark Andrews and everybody, let's keep the head high. Let's keep positive, but also let's get mean. Let's get downright dirty. Because we got to play the Dirty Birds. We got to get dirty down to it in M&T Bank Stadium on Christmas Eve. You know what? Let's have a holly jolly Christmas, but it's a holly jolly butt kicking against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's get back to the win column. 10th win. See if the Ravens can get some help with the counterparts in their Cincinnati Bengals in the division. Hey, it can happen. Ravens get in really quick. Ravens get in with a win and maybe a Patriots loss and or a Dolphins loss to the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see what happens. Can the Ravens get gifted with a playoff berth with some help? But they still control their own destiny. It all starts with this 3-week race. Atlanta Falcons are up next. How about it? Baltimore Ravens, let's fly high.
This has been a production of Brando Cash Entertainment. Music by Brad Lepore and Daniel Kelly from the DBK Studio. For more information, go to brandocash.com.